to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are on Thursday the 26th of January 2017. Chaos. Don't you just love it? The bit where you've sort of just thrown yourself into it and it actually looks like a complete mess. Yeah, well, we're into that stage, totally. Recapping really today is this morning I was out and about. This afternoon been pushing on with this, so we've now installed the actual avionics bays. We've got the battery bay over here, and we're generally working through really well. The problem we've had is that the instructions are exactly the same as the old black box instructions for the cockpit, and to be honest it is so vague about how it fits and it goes in, it's pretty much non-existent. So what you're having to do is doing a lot of test fitting, shave a little bit off, try again, shave a little bit off, but we are now in there. We can get this thing in. So to be honest, we've just put in some black primer on everything, and then the cockpit will go in there quite nicely. We can get all the bits in there, and because now we're into that stage of, like, you know, waiting for paint to dry and the various bits and pieces, what I'm doing is doing the gun. So we've got the gun coming along quite well at the same time, and then what we're going to do is paint up the cockpit, paint up the weapons base, everything. We'll mask over them. They'll be fine then for the rest of the build, but at least we can get the front end together, because this is where I suppose 90% of all the work is really going to be, is getting this in and everything else like that. But generally it's going very well. Now we've got rid of the issue of how, where exactly, you know, it's so grey about where how the cockpit actually fits in, that we're good to go with it now. So we're working our way through, just done the photo etch work for the gun belts, which are far superior to the ones you actually get with this. And as we said, with this particular kit, if you're building it without anything showing, with nothing open, you don't really need to worry about the gun because you're never going to see it. But from our point of view, we've cut open the underside so we'll be able to look up into the gun deck itself, and plus the fact, you know, it's a GAU 8. Everyone loves a GAU 8. So what we're going to do is actually put it together and build it, detail it, weather it, everything, and then put it in there, and you're basically not going to see it. From our point of view, you're just going to see the barrel, the mechanics of it and everything else like that, but that roughly will be it, even with what I've got open on this one. But if you are putting this one together for part of the actual SIG at the moment, I wouldn't worry too much about it down in there. Weight, definitely very important with A10s though, so you make sure you get your nose weight in there, otherwise it will be a tail sitter. Although that said, you know, I have a confession, it's up there above me. There's a story behind that one which I know a lot of you know. It was a commission that came back to me and everything else like that, and I actually didn't put enough nose weight in it. So a little trick you can do is, the wheel well is to put in slithers of lead up inside the actual nose wheel well, and then you can mould them in. I actually use lead to make formers as well, so it packed it out, gave it a lot more weight. And the other thing I did as well, another little tip, is ejector seat, hollow out the bottom of it if it's a resin one like that one is up there, and again you can put a little bit of lead in there, and you can put slivers of it down the actual wheel wells as well. So a lot of people are on about cutting open things to put them in. You can hide them all over the place, so it's not so much of a problem on that particular one. But generally it's coming along really nicely. Tomorrow we should have part one will be up with you, either that or it's going to be on Monday, not sure yet. So I'll get that edited up in the morning. If we've got enough, then obviously you'll get it tomorrow afternoon as we make our way through. Up with you today, we've got this little guy. Again, it's lovely to see Airfix releasing kits, a lot of kits coming out at the moment, and I must admit, they're all kits where I'm thinking, I'm going to build one of them, I'd like to do one of them. The Curtiss P40B Warhawk, again, it's one of those aircraft that's been done to death recently, or it seems like it, but everyone seems to have got it slightly wrong. And I know the rivet counters out there saying about the floor height and this, that and the other. I haven't got a clue, because to be honest, I'm not that worried about it. At the end of the day, as long as the model is a good model and the overall shape is pretty much spot on, I am not that sort of anal about it. Or at the end of the day, it's a beautiful looking Warhawk and everything else like that. And again, apart from lacking perhaps a little bit of riveting detail, and I know I seem to be going on about riveting a lot, but it's my new best friend, it's actually a really nice kit. It seems to go to look, the parts are clean, crisp, and again, we're talking that thing where Airfix, you know, I know a lot of people are banging on about this. It started a mini riot as always. 110 quid for this kit. Honestly, I've had a peek in the box, and show me where the other 70 quid's gone, because I can't see it in the box, if I'm honest. Not when you put it against the other one. Anyway, I'll review that next week and I'll go to town and rip the back out of it. But then you get kits like these, 15 quid, bargain. You know, well done Airfix, because at the end of the day, with a little bit of work and a little bit of, you know, perhaps re-riveting, bits and pieces, details like that, a nice smart weather job, perhaps some aftermarket decals, things like that, you can actually turn a cheap kit, which is really a good kit, so you don't have to go out and spend 110 quid, Christ, on it. You can actually get away with spending it very limited on something like this and have a very nice thing. And again, I know I'm doing this super build now, and before everyone says, oh, but Phil, you're spending a fortune on this kit. No, I'm not, because I've had this kit kicking around quite a while, and I only paid 70 quid for it when I had it, and it was a case of, right, and I've sat on it, and a lot of the parts that I've got, to be honest, I've got off of eBay and various things like that. So from that point of view, it's still sub 100 quid. I'm going to come out with something this big. So from that point of view, I can see that spent money very wisely. That though, on the other hand, for something like that, I can't quite see exactly where the money has gone on that one, but that will stir up a hornet's nest for next week, and I'm going to leave it for next week, because as I say, when I do the review on that, everyone will kick off and go big time. I am going to compare it directly, to be honest, and I know they are separate kits, but they're close enough, to the Hobby Boss SU27. We reviewed it, we've had a look at it, yeah, okay, it's pretty good and all the rest of it. So why on earth are they charging that much more for that particular one? Not too sure, but anyway, we'll look at that one tomorrow. Don't forget, we are doing the live show on Sunday, 5 o'clock. If you want to join us, it's me, Hans and Steve. Get it all going again. So we're going to get going the live stuff. I know a lot of you said, oh, you're missing the live stuff and all the various bits and pieces I get. I know, I'm just trying to get everything back and in balance and everything else like that. And when we were doing live shows, we were doing 3 a week. To be honest, again, I want to do this thing of quality over quantity. I don't just want to flood everything and do hours and hours and hours, literally, of live stuff. And yet, one, nobody watches it because it's just too big unless you're watching it live. And secondly, is that all that information, and good information at that, gets lost because no one knows it's in there. Okay, so we have good discussions, we have different things like that, we have tips, tiny little snippets of information that are really, really helpful, but because it's in a live show, nobody sees or hear it unless you're watching it. Okay, so from that point of view, what we're trying to do is, Hans has done this new brief, you've probably seen it in the forum, where we'll be paraphrasing your questions to make it flow a lot better. We're going to pre-read, sort out the best ones, all the bits and pieces like that, but we will answer them all, even if we don't get round to it in that 2-hour show. But then what we'll do after the show, I will do a log, and you know, we'll get Steve doing, you know, bullet points and all the rest of it throughout the show, and then what we'll do is we'll have a full sort of review of the show afterwards with everything that was covered in there. So the topics, what we spoke about, the tools, the various bits and pieces. So again, you can look back on it and use the search engines in the forum and everything else like that, and you'll be able to see exactly what we've been talking about. So no more do you have to think, oh, I've got to sit down for 2 hours and watch it. What you can actually do, just have a skim through the list of topics we spoke about. If something that takes your fancy, you can then skip ahead to 1 hour, 30 minutes or whatever is into it, and you can have a look at that one without having to sit through the entire thing and find out if there was anything worth watching or listening to or anything else like that. So from that point of view, again, we're going for quality over quantity, so we are definitely doing that. So there we go. Tomorrow, obviously, is Friday Roundup Day as well, so we'll have a catch up exactly what we've been on about, what we've been speaking about, and everything else like that. So we've got that show coming up with you, and maybe, I'm not promising, it may roll over till Monday. I'll see what I can get done for the actual A10, and as I said, I'd like to hopefully get the cockpit painted, the seat painted, and all the bits and pieces, and the gun done tomorrow. So what I might do is spend the morning doing it instead of editing it up, so we're in a nice position. So Monday there'll be a part up, there'll definitely be another part on Wednesday, and we'll really start the roll then of moving on and everything else like that. The other thing as well, I've got the Stormtrooper review, probably be up with you tomorrow as well, so there's still loads of bits and pieces coming up. So there we go, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.